everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 695. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I'm Ari Rockefeller.
Mako-chan is off tonight. She will be back next week, which you know what that means. There'll be twice as much sarcasm than ever before. I mean, eventually you get immune to it, but at the same time, I don't think we deserve that much punishment. So, anywho, let's get the show on the road tonight. All right. So Ari, how are you doing tonight, friend?
I'm doing okay.
I'm
I'm in the middle of my vacation from work.
I know that feeling all too well. I mean, let's be real. When you have a job, or you have vacation time, and some people actually go on vacation, and that's cool. Some people do a staycation, stay at home, rest, relax, catch up on chores and stuff that you really need to, and kind of recharge the batteries.
Uh-huh.
I actually know people who have done locations. Like, I knew someone I knew who lived in Brooklyn. For her vacation, she booked a room in Midtown Manhattan and stayed there for 3 days.
Interesting take.
Yeah. It kind of goes back to an episode of, to me, it goes back to an episode of The Odd Couple where Oscar and Felix, something had happened and Oscar was going to go on vacation, but he couldn't go because something had happened. So Felix said, why don't you take a vacation here in New York City? And he's like, why? And he's like, have you ever been to the Empire State Building or Statue of Liberty? And it found out that Oscar has never done any of this stuff. So Felix is giving these ideas. It's kind of a cool thing. It's sort of like if you have a friend in another state and you actually go out there and you either stay with them for a couple of days or you book a hotel room nearby and they come hang out and they show you cool scenery and all that cool stuff that you have not seen. Something like that. That's kind of cool. Also, when you
I think I know what you're getting at, yeah.
Or if you go to a convention and you stay an extra day or you come in a day early to do some fun touristy stuff. Especially if you have friends in the area, so.
Yeah.
All right. So that's basically the long and short of it. Like Pod Culture says, I've lived in Louisville for 28 years, never stepped foot inside Churchill Downs. Bro, let me tell you something. I have lived in New York City for about 20 plus years. I only been to the Statue of Liberty. I realize I've been to Statue of Liberty twice because the people I was hanging out with who do not live here wanted to go see it. And it's like that mindset of a New Yorker. We don't go there, but it was kind of interesting. So, it was like that. So, and that's how we kind of do and roll around here. So, excuse me. Something got caught in my throat. So, anyway, we are live. What's up?
You'll never believe what happened when I woke up this morning.
Well, save it for the weekend day because I'd like to hear about that.
Oh.
But
okay.
But we are live tonight, week of October 21st, 2025, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You will always find us at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session for our live shows, unless that changes. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. And you can find them at Twitch TV/vognetwork. And we're also on Discord, so come hang out with us in Discord, vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of the Voice Geeks Network has their own channel, so come through and hang out and have a good time. And Pod Culture is currently correcting my grammar on saying Louisville. He goes Louisville. Okay. I blame my Yankee accent on that one, so. I mean, as I was telling you on the ride up to AAC, like you have Houston, Texas, but it's we have a Houston here in New York, but it's Houston. It's Houston Street. And if you're from Jersey, if you're from North Jersey, you don't say Newark. It's Newark.
Nork, spelled Nork.
Something like that. To me, that makes absolutely no sense, but I'm the one that has the accent, when I ask you a question, and it sounds like I'm actually holding an axe or something like that, so.
Look, the English language is just 3 languages and a trench coat. That's all there is to describe it.
Look, the English language has Borg capabilities. We assimilate other people's words and stuff and add it to our own.
Yeah, that's not entirely wrong.
Right. Paco just says, my hometown is New Albany. Pronounced Nalbany.
Nalbany.
So we have an Albany, New York, so we call it Albany. So, But I get it, though. I absolutely get it. Because, if you say it wrong by accident, you might end up in fisticuffs or something like that. So it's kind of crazy. All right, so and CWB says I always say more like Nurk, but I totally understand. I totally understand that. All right, let's get into everything today. So, Ari, how was your weekend day?
The week's been all right so far, but like I said, we're talking about AAC this week, today, and well, let me just say that that Pokeball power bank,
Yeah,
that I was telling you about that I showed off recently.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never guess what I saw when I got up this morning.
A dead Pokeball.
I found the goddamn thing.
Okay, explain.
It was in my bathroom, in one of the drawers that has my the spare pill bottles and other toiletries that I'm not currently using, and it was just left there the whole time. I was looking all throughout my room trying to figure out where it was. I even went back into the bathroom, thought I left it on the counter. No, and yet on the way over this past weekend, I somehow gained possession of another power bank, which seemed to just materialize out of thin air and into my possession.
Yeah, because those power banks weren't mine. They weren't Synanites. I know which ones are mine, so.
Yeah. I don't know where these things are coming from, but they just show up when I'm not looking. But yeah, my friend and I went to K-Pot tonight for dinner because he also has off from work this weekend.
That's good.
We're just like, yeah, we got to hit up this place.
I've been there 3 times. I really like K-Pot. Now, for those of you who don't know, K-Pot is a Korean hot pot restaurant. And it's also a Korean barbecue restaurant as well. Now, in the traditional sense of things, when you go to these types of restaurants, it's like, if you want to do just a hot pot, it's like $20 to $30, give or take, like the meats and the soups that you want to do. But if you want to do just straight up Korean barbecue, that price range is from like $30 to like $50 or $60, depending on the cuts of meat that you want. Now, what's cool was with K-Pot, it's like $30 for just the soup.
For one or the other.
For one. And you can get them both for like $5 more, which I think is a great freaking deal. So.
Oh, we definitely ate our fill.
Yeah. So
we haven't been there in a while, and since we both had off, we were like, sure, why not?
I just find it, well, to me, on a side note, I just find it amusing that in Midtown Manhattan there's a what is that chain of Chinese restaurant? Panda, something like that.
Panda Express.
Panda Express. And I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense. There are thousands of Chinese restaurants in New York City, and they somehow had the brain power to put a Panda Express right in the smack of Midtown. And there's like 4 different Chinese restaurants right there. I guess we really like to eat our Chinese food because it's still there. And I guess in a way you can say the same thing about Korean barbecue, because I know there's not a K-pop in Koreatown, but I'm not too far from like two of them, so where I am, so there is that. And Pop Culture says,
It's like
"Dang,
putting a Domino's or a Pizza Hut in New York City.
I mean, look, back where the old studio was, y'all remember my one-liner? I live right up the street from 6 pizzerias and a Papa John's." And somebody will go, "Why do you say it like that?" And I'm like, if you ate pizza here, you'd understand.
Mm-hmm.
Pod Culture goes, "Dang, talking food and I'm hungry." Well, I mean, to be fair, I did have dinner before I do the show. And those of you who don't know, my Tuesday tradition usually is watching NCIS, having dinner, then coming to the console and prepping for the show. And then now I just watch anime instead of watching NCIS because I moved to Monday nights. And I think I think NCIS started up this week or next week. I gotta double check. And I think they moved it again. So it's like, if they moved it back to Tuesday nights, I'm not pushing the show to 9:30. I'm like, nope, it's staying at 9 o'clock. So, and CW says, "Don't forget the Olive Garden in Times Square." That's true. And I also find it funny that when they say the restaurant's in Times Square, 9 times out of 10, it's not in Times Square. It's like Times Square neighborhood, which is from like 9th Avenue going all the way down to Broadway. And then Times Square is basically 40th Street going all the way up to 49th Street, you know? And that's going into the Broadway district, you know? It's kind of crazy. Oh, so they moved NCIS to Tuesday, as according to Cia DeBerry. I don't know why you're pissed. They moved it back to its original time slot. So, and Pop Culture is, I'm still salty about NCIS New Orleans. Well, yeah. I need to start on Tony and Ziva. Anyway, I didn't mean to derail. Please continue, Ari.
That's about it, really. I'm just interested. I'm just eager to get it talking about the con.
Okay. So what was the thing? So the thing that happened was the Pokeball, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I found the damn thing.
Gotcha. Trust me. On that notice, I have like a Ziploc bag full of like pills, and it's basically like energy packets and stuff like that. You know, I keep some vitamins in there. I keep some Tylenol in there, and it's a Ziploc bag. And I carry this bag almost wherever I go. And it's like whenever you see me with the with my little slim backpack, it's the Ziploc bag is in there, and I somehow lost it. And I'm like, I know the last 2 places I was with, and there's no way in hell it was there. And that's what it came out to be. And it's like, it should be back over here. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, behind me to the right is a shelf. And I will usually put the Ziploc bag on that shelf, and I could see it. And I'm checking all the Ziploc bags I had there, and it's gone. I'm just not looking into having to rebuild that little travel Ziploc bag of health. So, you know. Part of me thinks I should lift up my bed and see if it fell down there, but I'm like, that's kind of nigh on impossible. But anyhow, outside of that, work's been pretty good. We do have our convention report to discuss. We have it broken down over several days. That's basically has been kind of the long and short of it. But I do want to share off something. Normally, something like this I would save as part of our report on the convention, but I got a gift here from my friend Pepper from AAC. And the interesting thing is the story. This kind of goes back about 3 years. When I first met Pepper at AAC, she was cosplaying Jabami from Kakegurui, and we were just chatting with each other. I was being a little flirty. She was being a little sassy, and I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna get along just well." And then we just chatted and kept along and became friends and so forth. She went to, I think, Costa Rica or something like that, and she got me this bootleg-looking Goku figure. and I put it up.
How bootleg is it?
Very. I'll have to go into my box of stuff and pull it and take a picture and post it. Which reminds me, I got to post the other picture too. It's pretty bootleg. So while I was in Japan in 2023, I got her something from the Quintessential Quintuplets because that weekend she cosplayed one of the sisters. So I don't remember if I got her something first, which I think she did, and she got me the bootleg Goku in return. So, I thought it was kind of cool. So on my second trip to Japan, in this case third, because the first one doesn't really count, but I got her Aqua from Konosuba. And I hand her her little gift bag, and she in turn got me something while she was traveling, and she got me Goten from Dragon Ball GT.
That's nice of her.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. So that's gonna go. That's gonna be down here. It's in a stack of Funkos that I have yet to put on display because I don't have room for them just yet. So, but it's kind of cool. When you have a friend, you could use like some type of crazy gift exchange like that. So, and if things go the way they are going, I'll probably be hitting up Japan again in 2026. But this time, she'll have to gift me first because I'll be going to Japan after AAC, something like that. Well, depending on how see how things go, Well, we'll get into that in just a bit. So now that we got that out the way, we are going to get into some housekeeping here. Let's see. Let's do restart. There we go. Perfect. All right. Wanted to let you know that our next convention and our final convention of the year is DerbyCon. It is from October 31st to November 2nd at the New Brunswick Hyatt at New Brunswick, New Jersey. Now, if you are local to the area, just take NJ Transit train to New Brunswick. And as you leave the station, you're going to go down to the left. It's about a 10 to 15 minute walk, and you'll see it across the street. You literally can't miss it. So it's a nice, small, medium to average convention. The whole layout of the hotel is kind of odd, but they still make it work. I will be doing a couple of panels there this year. I'll be doing Twitch Streaming 101, the hardware basics, stuff that you need to know. And I'll be doing Japan 101, as I like to call it. Stuff to do in Japan, stuff you need to do to get ready for your trip to Japan, the planning and so forth. And I will tell you about a couple of places to visit and all that cool stuff. And one of the things I say about this panel is if you are interested in going to Japan, please understand that the hotel rooms are small. And if you're near New York City, book a hotel room in New York City, bring your biggest piece of luggage. If you can maneuver around that for 24 hours, and you can do 2 weeks in Japan. So there is that. So, and finally, the last piece of information here on our housekeeping is, in case you have missed it, and I'll repeat this again a couple of more times, Orange Lounge Radio, the internet's longest running video game show and podcast, 23 and a half years, are winding it down. They're also in the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest running video game podcast. The final episode is November 23rd, and all you DDR fans will understand the significance of that date. So please, if you can, tune in over the next few weeks and join Dark Sakura, Sky, and Loki on OLR's final arc, as I like to call it. So, now that we got that out the way, we are going to talk about another Anime Con 2025. Please understand that there will be 2 reports. The first report is our podcast, and our second report will be coming from Cinenite. She will be writing things up, and that podcast and that report will be up soon. All right. So let's go ahead and let's see. Where am I looking for? Oh, no, that's not the one. That's not the one. There we go. I think this is it. So let's get ready for Thursday, aka Day 0. All right, so let's get things down to it. Now, there are some conventions where people will go in the day before. It's generally called day zero. Some conventions may have the dealer's room open that Thursday, or they may have a panel room open or something like that where there's some panels going on. They may have a video room open for some videos or some or AMVs or something. Because conventions are starting to realize people are coming in a lot early. Some people also come in early to do photo shoots and stuff like that. Others, like me, it's kind of easier to go in Thursday to get your room and relax, decompress, get food with your squad, and find your friends and hang out that night before the con kicks off. Because it's a lot easier than checking in on a Friday where you may have to wait.
Everything's already going.
Yeah,
Everything's already in motion.
yeah, the con's already going. You may have to wait a couple of hours for your hotel room and this and that. And now what's happening is a lot of hotels are charging early check-in fees. One place for a convention I went to charged me $99 to check in 3 hours early.
What?
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
I know. And I tried to get that charge taken off my card, but it's on the books or some shit like that. Because I thought it was illegal to do that. And I'm starting to see, like, when I reserve at certain hotels, they're like, do you want an early check-in? And it's like $25. And I'm just like, ugh. My main concern, and I'm starting to see this trend when reserving rooms. The first types of rooms that sell out immediately are your doubles, because you know you're not alone. And even if you are alone, most people will get a double regardless. And it's easy to fit 4 people, 5 if you have someone on the floor, or depending on the layout of the room, you might have a pull-out couch. So,
Or they might get extra fancy and bring a roll-out bed.
I had that happen a couple times. At least if you check in on a Thursday, you don't have to rush to get to the hotel. You could take your time. We usually get to the hotels if it's a local. Like if it's taking us about 2-3 hours to get there, we're usually there by 2-3 o'clock, give or take. And generally, I will call in advance to make sure that we have a double. And depending on how many people, we would like to get adjoining rooms. And generally, the secondary room might not be a double; it might just be a single with a pull-out. I mean, at least that's something. So that's what we did. Now, that Thursday, I didn't realize it at first, but I had a doctor's appointment that morning, and I didn't realize that till like maybe a month or so later after it was done. And I'm like, oh, okay. Ari and Sin and I don't get to my neck of the woods till about 12:30. The appointment's at 9. I have time.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't help the fact that either the bus I was supposed to catch showed up late or early, something like that. Because I didn't get to the doctor's office until about 9:15. There's only one person checking everybody in, so I'm just waiting and being patient. And I'm just like, when I get out, I'm like, I don't think I have time to take the bus back home because it's going to take me about an hour 10, give or take. So I'm like, let me just get a lift and head back home. Simple as that, right? Wrong. I always forget to factor in time for traffic. And even when I do, not enough. So I got back home about 12:30ish, and the crew showed up around 1:30. But I had already brought everything downstairs, so the only thing I was left was me just relaxing and watching anime and just till the time would come. And I'm trying to remember what anime I was watching at the time too, but so I'm like, I don't know if I fully finished watching it or something, but anyway, I'll check my list. So I get picked up. We finish loading up Ari's car like Tetris.
Yeah.
And love the SUV, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm still wondering, wait, how does it feel like why does it feel like I have more space in this thing, but there's like everything's taking up more room? Like, what the hell? I'm not losing my mind, am I?
Not necessarily, because remember, your old car had a lot of space, but we still filled it up. The new car kind of sort of has the same amount of space, but it's just shaped differently. That, and I don't, I don't. See, here's the thing. If I am getting a ride to a convention, I don't pack everything in one large suitcase. I have a suitcase, a hanging bag, and another bag with all the electronics and stuff. And depending on how that is, it could be an additional bag of last minute stuff, or the bag of electronics is a hell of a lot bigger because I stuffed more things into it. So, and that's basically that. So, we load up the car and we're on our merry little way. And Pod Culture says, hopefully I don't get hit too bad in Chicago next week. Just remember to turn back your clock, I think, or something like that. I don't know what time zone you're in, but So we make our way. Couple of stops along the way, to use the restroom, recharge, grab food,
Usual stuff.
stuff like that. And sometimes we try to hit the same rest stops along the way, and sometimes it just happens. It just randomly happens, So which is kind of cool.
And to be fair, a lot of the rest areas around Connecticut kind of look the same.
Oh yeah, same could be said about Jersey too.
Yeah, but they're like I don't know what it is, but it feels like it's just literal like copy and paste. Like, what the hell am I looking at? Like, I have to like double check. Like, wait, I didn't pass this one already, did I? I'm not getting deja vu, huh?
Yeah, I get that. Now, one thing was interesting, like, it has always been said that when you go to a rest stop, the food there is a lot more expensive than
yeah.
You can't say that anymore, really. Really.
It's about the same.
It's about the same. Except for that one rest stop coming back and you stopped off for a coffee. I was thinking about getting a sandwich from Subway, and basically a foot long was $17 and a 6-inch was $12. I was just like, for that price, I could just go to Stop and Shop and buy cold cuts and bread and call it a day. So, anywho, we make our way up and, got the music going. We're having a good time. We hit up Market Basket and we stock up on supplies and we make it to the room. Now, the thing about AAC is that this convention is more adult oriented in the aspects of there are more adults hanging around going to this con than teenagers. So there's going to be a higher level of respect and responsibility going around. I know, shocker, but yeah. Also on that Thursday, it's going to be a very chill night. You're not going to find anyone really doing photography. You're not going to see anyone really running around with a chick with their head cut off like you would see at Otakon or Katsucon or something like that. No, on Thursday, con goers are just hanging out, going to grab food or just chilling. That's basically what it is. It's just a nice and easy way, to kind of relax before things get going. And that's basically day zero, Thursday. Very chill, very relaxed. We unpacked our stuff, kind of organized. One thing about the hotel is that there is no office desk. You know how every hotel has like a desk where you can set up your laptop and stuff like that. You can work. Nothing like that.
A little office section.
Mm-hmm. Not like that at all. I had to make a part of my bed my office so I can actually work and do stuff. So.
Yeah, imagine my surprise when I woke up one morning and saw you in bed and all of your other electronics and stuff were on it. I'm like, how did you not toss and turn and fling everything on the floor?
See, the secret behind that is the fact that the sheets are tightly tucked.
I mean, they were on my bed too, but I can't lay still for anything.
Here's the thing.
Unless I'm unconscious.
Here's the thing. When I'm at home and my bed is made and I get under the covers, it's guaranteed by that morning or the next day, the sheets and the blankets are all over the place. So it's just like that. Whereas if I'm in a hotel, Maybe they use heavy blankets or something like that, and the way it's tucked, I just don't have the energy to pull it out. Like they generally tuck it all in. I'm just like, I'm just gonna lay right here like a burrito and call it a day. But I think the last couple of nights I did move everything onto the floor. And I know one night, I think two of the nights, I actually had my tablet like on an angle and the headphones on the desk. So there is that. So for me, Thursday was just like, we made it. Let's unload. Let's get some food, and let's relax. And Bonzo06 says, what? A sandwich for $17? That better come with a medium bag of chips, a drink, cookies, and a salad for two. Unfortunately, my friend, that was not the
No.
case. This is a rest stop area on the highway. That $17 is just a sandwich for one. All right.
There's a joke about highway robbery in there, but I don't have a goddamn it Barb soundbite on this Discord soundboard. And nobody on the Vage mods are going to decide to let me put one on there yet.
Well, you have the Streamer Nexus like I have. You can install voice mod onto it and have that custom soundbite.
Did you hear that?
No.
Fuck. Yeah, see, I just put, like, I started with that. I put a sound effect on one of the buttons, but it didn't play anything on that you heard.
Yeah, it's gotta be how you control the output. One thing I like about the Nexus Media, you can actually pull up like a mapping of your audio, so you know what button does what and where it goes. Because I'm probably gonna change the layout soon, so for to work on a couple of things, so you know. Anywho, that's my Thursday. I had the simplest of Thursdays. So, how about you, Ari?
Mine wasn't nearly as simple. I got everything loaded up. I like I said, lost track of this fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just I got everything loaded in like 20 some odd minutes before leaving the house.
That's good.
I got everything locked up, and I had my one suitcase, and a Walmart bag with some goodies in it, and I just drove out and went up to get Cinna. I was at her place. No one else was in the house, and we just waited there for a little bit to decompress.
Right.
And then what happened is her dog Lucky spent about half an hour running around and barking at me, and like 2 minutes before we decide, okay, now we can get out and go, the dog decides then is the time to actually like calm down near me and like let me rub his belly and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so just fighting New York City traffic and and just carrying everybody up through Connecticut, through Massachusetts, and to the con.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sucks that the venue's not going to be there anymore.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that in just a bit. And I will say, for some reason that Thursday I was not feeling well. Like I had gone oddly enough, I gone to the doctor, and somehow when I got off the bus, I was having shooting pains in my thighs. I'm just like, oh, that's lovely. And then I could feel like I had like the chills coming in. I'm like, I got a head, like I don't need this. So thankfully, when we got to the room, I took some cold meds and some Tylenol and some water, and it all went away. I'm just like, thank God for that. All right. Yep. Bonzo says, stick them up and give me all your cash. Yeah, that's basically is it. And this is why I'm like, look, when we do these long trips, instead of stopping off at the rest stop, find a local Walmart or Target or something like that. Because there will be a shopping center nearby that you can turn off and go grab food, which would be a third cheaper.
Oh, yeah. And we actually ended up getting some good stuff, like that instant ramen that you picked out was actually really good.
Yeah, I still have leftovers and I have them in my kitchen. And what's interesting is, I think from our last trip, I had gotten the thing of instant ramen. I think it took me about 6 months to actually get around to actually finishing it because it was sitting up there, and I was just forgetting about it. I was like, oh, okay, Again,
You forgot when it's up there. Good thing it's shelf stable.
I know. Blessed freeze dried from the Japanese. I know I have two things of pho, one tonkatsu, and one stir fry, I believe. And that's probably going to sit there for a while till I actually remember to actually say to myself, self, you got instant food up there. Eat it. And at least, I know the sodium count's going to be kind of high, but it's not like I eat this all the time. So.
Kind of high.
Well, it's not like I eat it every single day.
Obviously not.
Yeah. All right. Right. So now we're going to get into actual day of the con on Friday. We're going to do that now. Podculture says, Tylenol, you'll get autism. Well, I mean, I already got something else, so I think I'm kind of covered on that. So, and Bond says you forgot some ginger ale. Yeah, I know I forgot ginger ale, but I think if I know I am going to be sick and I'm not going anywhere, I am done. Robitussin, Tylenol, ginger ale, an order of egg drop soup, and the Price is Right streaming channel.
Classic episodes?
Yes. They call it the Barker years. I know they have one like that for Johnny Carson on the Tonight Show as well.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, so let's get down to the gritty on Friday. Now, depending on the convention, Fridays are usually a hit or miss. Meaning, you get up around 9 o'clock in the morning. Well, if you're like me, you get up around 8 or 9, freshen up, you get breakfast, and you kind of see who's out there. So, and if it's kind of quiet, then you kind of have a general idea how the rest of the day is going to be, more or less. Now, I went to the hotel for breakfast. I was like, okay, all right, not bad, Went back to my room, I freshened up, and I just put on I think I went out and got gift bags because we forgot to get them on the way up, and I had like 3 gifts to give out to friends, and I wasn't going to just be like, here. I was going to be that fancy person, wrap it in tissue, cover it in tissue paper, hand them the bag, and like, here you go. That's me. So I did that, and thankfully I was able to pass out 2 of those gifts on Friday. I think the 3rd gift was passed out on Saturday, but I'll save that for later. So Friday, for the most part, was very chill, very quiet. I like the fact that I can walk around and do my photography and also do panels and not have to worry about missing one for the other. Thank God for that. But at the same time, I was not rushing myself. I know that there are some cosplays that I completely missed, but I'm just not trying to run around and try to catch up to people. And I'm just going to be casual and take my time and do that. Now, one of the panels that I did check out was Let's Rank Anime Openings. This panel, what they do is the panelist hands out like these little strips that have different like words on it, from like it sucks, mid, great, good, great, awesome, and we just vote like if this is a good anime theme or this is a bad anime theme. It just depends on how it goes. That's all that is. So
did they play just a song or just the entire opening with that song?
No, it's the entire opening with that song. So
oh, good.
Yeah, it's just the opening. It's the entire opening sequence, and I think that's kind of cool. Because I mean, you're in the panel room. I mean, it does to me. It doesn't make any sense to just like listen to the song. You know, at least you get to see it and see what's up. So
Hmm.
I mean, and that's one. That's the thing I liked. Now, one thing about the the Westford Hotel, um, there is a section that's outside. There's a giant tent on the lawn. It's the other main event room, and sometimes you'll have to go out there. And I'm glad that the weather was kind of nice, so blessed for that. So I actually went out there and saw what was going on there, and I came back. And then later on in the day, I went to the cosplay lip sync battle, and I we have that recorded. That will be up on our YouTube page sometime soon. And it's basically you're lip syncing songs, and you're in cosplay, and your cosplay is connected to the song. So it's a fun thing to do. My friend Jez, no, aka Jez Roth, he is the person who created this. He is the first person who created this, and he calls it, I think he calls it lip sync for your cosplay, and it's extra fabulous. I've seen him do it and perform it and host it. It is great. So, and other conventions are doing it as well, and it's also you gotta check by and gotta love it. So, and I believe TBS actually had a TV show similar called Lip Sync Battle or something like that. I caught clips here and there.
I think
So
it was a skit on like one of the one of the late night talk shows.
probably, probably. Now, another thing that y'all know I definitely like is con dances. I love to put on my best suit, my themed suit or outfit, go to the dance and dance with pretty ladies and talk to them, have a good time. And then if I'm not dancing, I'm taking pictures to post later. I like that. I think it's really fun. That's my thing. Now, over the last couple of years, AAC is kind of did things slightly different. Now, when conventions have these types of events, you have to show up like you're going to dance, like in a suit or a dress, something like that. You got to follow that. Not here at AAC, you can just come as you are. So my plan was, I much as I wanted to pull a suit and put a Twilight pin on and say I'm Agent Twilight from Spy Family, I'm like, I will just show up as Wakana Gojo from My Dress Up Darling in his casual outfit, you know? But the downside is the sock hop, they called it intergalactic sock hop because this year's theme was aliens. It started late, and I didn't have time to even do anything, so I just said F it and went and I ran my panel. So I started my panel at 7:30, which was Twitch Streaming 101, and it's basically about the hardware that you need. That's something that not a lot of YouTubers will talk and discuss, because if you go on YouTube and look up Twitch streaming, you'll find more videos about setting up Streamlabs or setting up OBS, XSplit, or whatever to do streaming. You're going to hear reviews of like certain hardware and stuff like that. What I do is I tell you what you need from the get-go, and I have like the basic specs of what you need and go. And I also take about 10-15 minutes to talk about podcasting, because not everybody wants to be on screen to do a show. Just do it by audio. That's still a popular thing. Hell, I mean, you could do it with Zoom and then just save the audio and call it a day. There's so many ways to do it. And the way I do my panels is I show you how I do it, and I give examples of like hardware and software you can use, and you just take what you can and roll with it. Then I came back in at 9 o'clock, and unfortunately I had some technical difficulties. It seems that when connected to the projector, it was going in and out, so it was hard for me to show the PowerPoint presentation sometimes. But my second panel about Japan, I basically broke down like section 1, handling your paperwork, what you need to do to get to Japan, handling how to do your passport, visit Japan, web, checking flights, booking hotel rooms, and so forth. You know, all of that. Get all of that out of the way. Now, if you're not going for a year, you have plenty of time to get all of this completed, because once you throw out the passport request and that's being processed, you start working on everything else. Then I talked about apps you can use to plan your trip. Like, one of the things I started using was Wanderlog, and you can put in your dates, your flights, your hotels, all of that. And then you can create different sections. What I like to do is I create a section for me, and I create a section for everybody else who I'm traveling with. And then once we know the cities and awards we're going through, I list all of those. And then we start putting things together. What I like to do is, once we've put in the places we want to visit, I check them, and then I copy them over to the sections for the cities and wards, so we know what's there. Like, if we're going to spend a week in Osaka and we have like 7 places in Osaka to visit, it might just take us 3 days to do all of that, and we still have 4 days left in there. That gives us time to go find other stuff to do. And then underneath that, you have like, it lists all the days that you're on your trip. And what I like to do is, like, right now, let's say me and Ari, we're going to go out tomorrow. We're in Akihabara. So I'll look at his list and I'll look at mine, and we're like, well, what do you want to do tomorrow? Let's say Ari wants to go to Shibuya to the Pokemon Center. Cool. I'm like, I want to go to the Nintendo store, which is right there. Cool, that's 2. Like, we
can hit up both of them right there.
Yeah, there's the Capcom store. That's 3. 3 things right there. So what I would do is, for the next day, I will put those locations in. Now, it already knows what hotel that we're in, and it tells you how long it takes you to get to each location via train, which is kind of cool. And you can add you can have like a financial tracker and like how much you spend and stuff like that, so you know. And it's a really fun app, and it makes things great. So I explained the different apps. I explained the technology, like an eSIM or a pocket MiFi, and it breaks down like this. There's free Wi-Fi all throughout Japan. There's an app that you download and you register, and it'll try to register you to all of the Wi-Fi spots, so you don't have to do it every single time. And then you get an eSIM. Yes, you can get local service from your provider, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, whatever. But find out the cost. Sometimes just for 2 weeks, it could run you $60 extra. But you might
That's a little steep.
Yeah, you might not even get 5G. What I got was an eSIM, and I think it was Sakura Mobile. And for 2 weeks, I paid $20. I had unlimited 5G. And I still make local phone calls on T-Mobile back home and stuff like that, which was great. And I did that. And then once I explained all of that, I talked about different places to visit, and I showed pictures of different cities and malls. Like, here's a couple of spots here and there. And I got some great feedback from that panel. One person suggested I started it off with the do's and don'ts of Japan. And I'm going to add that. I'm also going to add, I created this Excel spreadsheet that I showed off, but I'm going to edit it in that shows everything that I did. All the items that I bought, the U.S. price, and how much I paid in Japan, the conversion, all of that. Perfect. So I did that, went back, and I think I totally skipped the the rest of the Intergalactic Sock Hop altogether. And just grabbed a few more photos. I went off, meet up with some friends. We went to a room. I went between 2-3 room parties and just enjoyed myself. And I think I got back to the room about 12:30 and passed out. Not really passed out per se. I now have this habit of, before I go to bed, I take my tablet and I watch a couple of YouTube videos and I go to sleep. And that's what I did. And you might think it's crazy that I'm going to bed at 1 in the morning at a convention, but honestly, I'm okay with that because I did everything I need to do for the day. I want to relax and I want to unwind. I want to watch a couple of videos because I know I have to get up at 8 o'clock for breakfast and do other things before the con gets going. So that was my Friday.
Ugh, pardon me.
You good? You good?
So yeah, I know you. It definitely sounds like you had fun.
Yeah. I try to make the best of it, and I try not to like over stress myself.
Hmm.
All right, Ari, how was your Friday?
Well, I ended up getting. Like, I know we all ended up going down to get breakfast together, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
The buffet was it was passable,
It's the
but
same buffet they've always had, so.
yeah, I know. Let's. But yeah, I ate enough, and then just got back to the room and changed. Also, the day before, you had given me this
Mm-hmm.
CD of Masaaki Endo covers,
Yep.
which was super neat. I appreciate you for that.
Now, know what I want you to do? Put that back up on the screen. Now, one of the things I did when I bought gifts for people that were like figures and CDs and DVDs and stuff, I leave the sticker on it. Because I want y'all to see the price that I paid for this stuff in comparison to the US. I paid 1,400 yen for that CD. Conversion rate is about $12, give or take. Could be a little bit less than that. And that is
I just checked. I just Googled it. It was about $9 and change.
There you go.
And $1 is 150 some odd yen.
Oh, so we finally hit 150 yen to the dollar.
They're about, yeah.
Man, I wish I was going back to Japan. Man, listen. My friend Craig is there now, that lucky bastard. But for a friend of mine and her wife, I got them Free Ren and Fern. And I paid a total of 4,000 yen for these figures. Conversion at the time, about 26 bucks. And I'm like, and to think, these two figures, in the US, you'll be paying about $30 to $35 separately for them. So, yes, please continue.
But yeah, okay. I put on my phone all the various events I wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was just it was a Balatro. It was they were playing Balatro. It was audience participation. That was they also had a special mod for it that just had a lot of cards and jokers were just in jokes with what do you call it, AAC and whatnot. I'm not sure if it's out there or someone on their Discord or whatever has it, but I'll have to find it myself eventually.
Yeah.
And let's see. The game room was a lot of fun. It was the same stuff, but I actually decided to go and what do you call it? Play Rock Band for once.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that, and I popped in for a bit, to check that out. I love that there's still a couple of cons that have a complete Rock Band setup, and it's not just a regular drum kit. I think it's a complete Yamaha drum kit with the adapter.
Yeah, it was the Pro drums.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Constantly busy throughout the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much you've seen it, but people get like hyped up whenever certain songs are playing and whatnot. Like when like I was on the other end of the room when they were playing like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones is the impression that I get.
Yeah.
I can tell you, every single person in that room, right at the bridge, hit that, right before the chorus.
It's like when everyone gets together to sing Bohemian Rhapsody,
That's on there too. Like they had a 3-ring binder full of songs.
Because there's there are custom mods. Somehow the PS4 version of Rock Band they have is modded, because I heard songs on there that I know for a fact is not in Rock Band. So
Yeah, and
it's so cool
like
though.
the papers were like this thick. There was that many of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I did get other people, get other folks, interested in, like, well, I was playing, like, I played Dream Theater, so I'm like, hey, do you like time signatures? Like, and the other guy is also like a metalhead. Is like, oh god. And
God damn it, Barb!
wait, did you hear that?
Yes, I did hear it.
Okay, it's actually working. Okay.
How'd you get it?
So
Now, what did you do this time differently than the last
I
time?
downloaded and installed voice mod.
There you go.
But I still have I still haven't hooked it up to my soundboard yet, like the actual physical soundboard.
Well, the Nexus is their soundboard as well. You just go open up a fresh window, you can drop everything there.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's see, where was I? And another panel I went to after that was investing in yourself with Doug Dimmadome. As in, a guy was cosplaying as Doug Dimmadome, which I had met before, and he was glad to see me. I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, but when I was on Press Your Luck, he was a guy also.
Yes, I do remember. Yep.
That same guy. But it was mostly just life coaching, positive reinforcements, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like to help motivate you and get you thinking about how you want to like accomplish whatever goals you need to.
Life coach.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
And as Cedar Beery says in our chat room at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session, Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
That's the one.
He is now a life/success coach.
Mm-hmm. Where is it? I go to that one. A lot of it was, just wandering around. I mean, I was and then I was at the Game Changer panel, which is just, trivia game where like the rules change up in between rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of them's like like the first half it was like name an anime, name 2 animes, name 3 animes, and then he's like you can't, and then like the middle of it he's like, okay, but for this you can't name an anime that has already been named, and people are just like freaking out. They're like, oh shit, what now?
I've heard about this thing called Game Changer. It's like I've heard about this recently only because I saw a bunch of people cosplaying from it at Dragon Con. I'm just like, what the fuck is? And I looked it up. I was like, that's interesting.
And yep. After that, it was just wandering around the con. I talked to a few people. I didn't. With all the money I had, I still never once actually went to the artist alley or dealer's room.
I went in because I found out that a friend of mine who also goes to cons and selling a lot of Love Live and some Magical Girl stuff at conventions. Her booth is called Dia Splits. So, I popped in to say hi to her and talk to her as I was going through. And I did buy something for me, which I should have talked about back on my turn on Friday. But the thing is, since coming back from Japan, I've only been to a couple of cons, and I'm like, there's nothing these convention dealer halls will have what I'm looking for. It's far and few. I have found a lot of stuff in Japan, so I'm golden. But when stuff comes out and you're not in Japan to grab it, you gotta pick it up here. So I picked up a Ranma 1/2 Ranma Saotome figure while I was in the dealer's hall. And it's not the one that I really wanted, but it's on my list of ones that I did want, so I'm happy about that. So
okay, this thing had a freak out because I decided to just, pay the one-time thing. It was like 60% off.
What you
So yeah,
get?
now we're good. Voice mod.
Uh, wait. No, 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 dude. It's free.
I know, but a bunch of stuff was
No, it's free. If with the with the Nexus Media, you get a free license for it.
I did not know that.
Unless they stop doing it, because when I bought mine, it came with a free license for voice mod. And what's funny is I already had a license for voice mod because some time ago, like years ago, they were doing contests where they were giving away copies in a contest, and I was one of the winners for voice mod. So
Yeah, there wasn't any kind of notice like that on my end. So
okay.
anyhow, yeah, that's how Friday went for me.
Okay. I'm actually looking at stuff. I'm looking at a couple of things on Otaku Mode at the moment, and I know the Ranma figure that I purchased is available, but it's not on Otaku Mode at the moment. So I was like, okay. And the downside is that you got to go to like 2 or 3 different anime shops to find all of the figures from a series, because one site might not have it, but the other site will. So yeah. Anywho. All right, now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and talk about day 2 of the con, Saturday. All right, so again, got up early, got breakfast. Generally, my tradition is hotel breakfast on Friday. I go to Godly for acai bowls. I get a breakfast bowl from there on Saturday, and Sunday I just eat a couple of Pop-Tarts or not, or we just pack it up and go. But we did something different. We'll get into that in just a bit. So Saturday, it was good. After coming back and looking around, it's just like it just exploded with people. I was like, wow, okay. And 10:30 in the morning was the Sailor Moon shoot. So I went to that and I brought my Mamoru, and I lost my wig, which we found later in Ari's car, which I had a feeling that's where it was. So the thing is, it was only me, Cinnamite as Ami, and another person as Pluto. And the person taking the pictures had no idea or concept of what Sailor Moon was. And the person that hosted this wasn't even there. So I was just like, are you serious? A few shots later, done. I go back to the room and I put on my regular clothes and outfit. For the record, for those of you who are wondering, yes, I did wear my Wakana Gojo on Friday. And it was very comfortable. The only issue I had was the shoes that you wear with the tabby socks. I just had to take my time walking around in them because I didn't want to like slide and break them. But I do need better socks though. I prefer wearing. I'd rather have like longer socks that goes up my legs. But you know. Let's see. I'm actually gonna have to pull up the schedule for some odd reason. I don't know why I should have to, because I could have sworn I should be able to go through all of this without any problems. So let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule real quick, because I thought I'd written things down. So one thing about AAC you should know, there are tons of game shows. It has its own game show department, and they run more game shows here than Anime Next used to do. And that should tell you something. And they actually have, they have Jeopardy. They actually have a preliminary tournament and stuff like that. Trials, so that so they know who to get and so forth. Another thing that they have is a swap meet. Some conventions will throw it together at the last minute and just put it in one section and call it. But there was like a 2-hour swap meet on Saturday and Sunday. And I go to it from time to time. And I know the one time I went, I scored a good deal. I picked up all of Galaxy High for $20. I was like, sweet. That DVD box set is out of print and it's going for maybe 100 or something like that. So one of the things that I did do was I attended the Idol Festival. Now, in case you don't know, I love my idols. I love them so much. So I love seeing people doing Love Live cosplays, AKB0048, Bang Dream, D4G, all of that. So I will go to the Idol Festival, take pictures, and I will record it. And it's great times all around. So I took care of that. That was great. And after that, I left, walked around, and did some more photography. And I just took my time. And the thing is, I actually had the opportunity to actually hang out and meet up with people that I have not seen in about a year. So, taking pictures of them and their cosplays, doing selfies. It was fun, and I had a great time with that. Also on that day, we did an interview with Amanda Gish, and that will be up on our YouTube page later. I may end up adding the interview to one of our upcoming podcasts. You can listen and check it out in case you haven't watched it. And then we had a bit of a communications issue, and also it falls upon me. I cosplayed Garter Belt from Penny and Stocking. I was under the impression we had a photo shoot at 4:00, and I had an interview with one of the cosplay guest stars of Cassiopeia at 3:30. So I needed to switch things around. Come to find out, they did make the switch for me, but hold on. Sorry about that. Thank God for the mute button so I can sneeze. So at they ended up moving that interview to Sunday. And by the time I checked my email to confirm it, I found out that the shoot I was in wasn't until Sunday, so I had plenty of time. But I took advantage of that, do more photography and catch up with people and enjoy myself. Now we get into the masquerade. Now, I do understand over blocking the masquerade, like the time slots for the masquerade, and I get that. But given that this year they gave it a 4-hour block, I'm like, that's absolutely absurd. Most cases it's usually a 3-hour block, and I'm like, that's normally the thing. Okay, all right. Now last year the masquerade did run about 3.5 hours long. And I missed out an opportunity to go out to dinner with friends, but we went out to dinner Sunday, so that was even better. So this time it was different. Okay. Normally, a convention masquerade will have about 20 to 25 skits and maybe about 10 to 15 walk-ons, maybe 20. This one was different. There was, I believe, 12 skits and about 15 walk-ons. Now, normally, when there are that many skits, you're going to go like first, second, third, and novice, journeyman, craftsman. Then you're going to have best performance, best in show. And that's how it usually is. But if it's a smaller amount of skits, it's going to be divisional best, best in performance, best in show. Also, both types will have judges awards as well. But that changed a little bit. So this time it was divisional winners, and I believe best performance, best in show. They did have best of weekend and judges awards for the walk-ons that were the craftsmanship judging walk-ons, which was really cool. Now, one of the trends at masquerades is the halftime show, quote unquote. This is the perfect time for the judges to deliberate who gets the award. Sometimes it'll be a skit, it'll be a performance skit. Sometimes it'll be the MC may also be a comedian who will do a stand-up routine, or something that's very popular, AMVs. Usually they will show either AMV entries or the winners of the AMVs. And I like watching the winners of the AMVs. Now, I saw this. Now, I'm going to get into this. And I don't mean to get controversial, but anyhow. I watched the winners of the AMVs. Somebody did Speed Racer to Talladega Nights, The Legend of Ricky Bobby. And I thought it was the most hilarious thing ever. I thought it was great. That video got best in show. I go to YouTube to look this up because the name of the video, the AMV was called Mifune Nights, The Ballad of Speed Racer. And I'm like, it's not on YouTube just yet. So I pull it up and it's right there. And then I look that it has gotten it won an award at San Japan 2025. It got best trailer. And I'm just like, what? Wait. Hold on. When I was doing AMVs, if you were not allowed to submit a winning AMV into the contest, that's basically sandbagging. It's one thing where if the AMV won, but you go back and you re-edit it and do all this other stuff and re-entry, I can kind of see that. Kind of. But I just felt, and I noticed that this AMV won tons of awards. And I said this to a couple of people at the con, staffers I knew. They had no clue. And I looked at the rules. I'm just like, doesn't say anything about the rule. What the fuck? There's this thing called the Shujin Award, where it's for a newcomer up and running. And as long as it wasn't backdated a certain year, it was good for entry. I didn't care about that. And the creator of the AMV comes out and says that they've been doing AMVs for 20 years and it's always been this way. You, sir, are a liar and full of shit. I'm saying it like that here because I was being nice on Facebook about it. I used to do AMVs. I used to enter an AMV contests from like in the early 2000s. And there was that rule. If your AMV won an award, you could not submit it into another contest. Simple as that.
That's simple enough to follow, I think.
I feel they're saying they're doing this to kind of encourage people to enter and do more videos and so forth. I think that's complete bull. If I enter an AMV contest and I find that one of the entries is a video that has won multiple times already, I might not want to enter.
That's a good point.
And come to find out, other conventions have been doing this, and I found out through a friend that he stopped doing AMVs and he stopped entering and stopped watching them. I'm like, that's fine by me. Honestly, that's like saying that if you were a cosplayer and your costume won a judge's award, unless you do some major work on it, you're not going to enter that costume into another contest. You know? Absolutely not. I let them say what they had to say, and I walked away from the post. I'm like, no, I said what I need to be said. Nobody's going to listen to me, and that's quite all right. Not worried about it. So now that we have the winners from the masquerade, and it was great. I will say I was kind of a little lost. Now, generally, when it comes to masquerades, the skits, I have a general idea of the anime, or if I don't, the skit tells a story, so I totally get it. I found myself lost a bit of the ways. There were certain entries and so forth, but I still made it through. And the best part is, even though the masquerade started 20 minutes late, it was done by 8 o'clock. I love that. You see that, New York Comic Con, Anime NYC? It pays to have your masquerades early. Having people go in at 8 o'clock and it ends at 11 or 12 is not a good idea. Start that shit at 6. Be done by 8 or 9 o'clock. Give people enough time to leave the Javits so they can freshen up and change and go to after parties. Thank you.
Or wherever they end up heading.
Exactly. I remember like when I was working at NBC, the Masquerade went to like 11, 11:30. I think this was the year I didn't even book a hotel room. I was just going back and forth. And I was like, I, and I, cause I had to go into work Sunday morning to fix something that was not my fault, but whatever. And I was just, it was just cluster F. So anyway, enough about that. So Saturday, I thought it was going to be popping off big with so many people coming in and out. It really didn't. It kind of matured out around 12-ish, but it was still full of people. You can still check out the different panel rooms and see there's a nice grouping of people hanging out and checking out and being interactive and so forth. And I enjoyed that. So that was my Saturday. Okay, Ari, how was your Saturday?
Not nearly as complex as yours, I don't think. Hang on, let me bring it up. Let's see. It was at like we were. I was at tier list debate challenge now with microtransactions. We're taking various animes and whatnot and putting them on a tier list,
Right.
and just usual kinds of shit posting and back and forth with one another. That stuff usually goes.
Yeah.
And then it was like around 12:30. I went to see Intro to Ichiban Kuji.
Hey, explain that one.
Let me double check something real quick.
God damn it, Barb! God
Okay,
damn
I did
it,
not.
Barb!
Okay, I
You're
did
going
not.
to abuse that.
I wasn't even trying that time. I don't know. Why does this think it's on the I button? Ugh.
Well, you can take
Anyway,
it off the button and put it on the touchscreen.
That's Ichiban Kuji. Okay, it's like a lottery or prize, prize system.
Yep.
Like drawings and whatnot. But everything is ranked on like a tier list. Speaking of, it was like A tier, B tier, all the way down to whatever they decide is the bottom tier. Like it go as far as G or S or Z for all we care. But yeah, it's you draw you draw the things, you buy the tickets from the konbini clerk or whoever's selling them, and whatever the letter is that you pull out, that's what you get.
Sounds good.
And everyone got to pull some things, and that's like those other 3 little pieces of merch you saw in the back of my car when you were leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I ended up winning. It was like a sticker and a couple of little towels. And because like I drew like poor showing, then I got a B showing.
Okay.
And like the A was like a figurine. But I didn't. Nobody won that.
It happens.
And then there was how anime can help us become physically and emotionally healthier.
I mean, I'm like, okay, if they don't mention cells at work, this panel is a wash.
It wasn't that level, but the idea was, that people, get inspired to live healthier or, work out a little longer just because of some anime they saw.
I can see that. And the funny thing is, a friend of mine started going to the gym because he started watching some anime and he wanted to get good for it. And I was just like, I don't know. And I kept saying for the longest, I don't think watching anime and working out to look like a certain character is a motivation to lose weight. I eventually let that go. I'm like, fuck it. If you got a reason to go to the gym, go for it. That's the way I look at it now.
Yeah, pretty much. If it motivates them, then that's what it'll take.
Yep.
And you're telling people that not everyone's going to have it as easy as everybody else. Everyone's got their own issues and things to their own challenges ahead of them. Physical, emotional, mental, what have it, and yeah, financial as well. But like even though like how I said I go to the Y near me. It's like that's a great place to go because it's a lot. And I even said as much. Yeah, it's just like 2/3 of what I was paying at the last gym I went to. I'm like, see, there you go. And after that, it was just more playing games and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
We also this was the day after that we all went
Right.
out to dinner together,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. And well, yeah, that was a Sunday. That was Saturday for me.
All right.
Just
And then,
more panels and more gaming and whatnot. And then I get I came back, just chilled out in the room, watched Food Network shows like we usually do.
yep. I went to bounce between a couple of room parties, and that was it. Gone for me.
Yeah,
Gone.
see,
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about any room parties. I knew they were happening, but no one told me about them. So like,
For me,
that
gone.
sucks.
For me, gone are the days of hosting room parties to where we would just bring like 3 or 4 bottles of booze and some mixers and just tell people to come through and just watch YouTube with us. Make yourself a drink. Now we just bring one bottle, one mixer, and just let it ride. So,
Hmm.
and now we get into Sunday. Let me play my little clip. Okay. So Sunday was more on the chill end. I'm happy that I was able to get more photos than normally. And let me tell you why. We decided before the convention to stay until Monday. Now, the reason is because Ari needs his sleep. We would leave at 1:30 and get on the road. Sunday traffic, pit stops along the way. We would not get home. I would not get home till about 8 to 9 o'clock. By the time Ari gets to drop off Cinnamite, it's usually close to 11. And by
Yeah,
the
so I end up getting home at like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
even later. So basically, Ari's been driving for 12 hours and he's ready to punch the wall at that point. So we decided that because it takes us about 6+ hours to get up there, we'll just stay until Sunday, till Monday. So I went around. I got my last interview. I did my photo shoot. Went out to dinner with friends, and it was great. And we had a good time. Traded war stories,
Hmm.
and then we just left in the morning for Monday. Now you're probably wondering, what was the time differential? 6 hours, give or take. So the only thing I figured we were going to leave around 10, around 11 o'clock or so, because checkout time is at 11. Ari said that he wanted to be on the road by 10, so I'm just like, okay, set the alarm, we get everything, and we go. I'm home by 2:30, and that's even stopping off at Target for me to pick up some groceries, which again I really appreciate.
Yeah, no problem.
Cinna Knight was home by 3:30, 4 o'clock, and you were home by like what, 5?
5:30, 6 o'clock.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's a 6 hour time. That's a 6 hour, 6 7 hour time differential, and we didn't hit much traffic coming back either. And that was the best part. And I think by the time like work traffic hit for Ari, he was basically on his way home, basically getting off the damn highway.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's why, to me, that's worth it. For me, as for photography, I can stay until 5 and get as many pictures as I can, relax, load the car, and go on a merry little way. And that's perfect for me. Now, we thought about doing this for Zenkai Con, but we usually are gone. We're usually back home like at 3 hours. And I will usually stay at Mako's Sunday and then leave from her place on Monday. For Zenkai, I'm okay with staying till about 2:30 because it's still a crowd. Whereas AAC, it's a smaller convention. There's not that many people running around on Sunday because the bulk of the people are in panels and events, especially cosplay chess. And overall, Sunday, again, I had a great time. I was just keeping things chill. So, Ari, how was your Sunday?
Yeah, that's pretty fun. I did make it a thing to get to the press your luck panel,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't get to play, but it was still fun to watch.
Yeah.
Very high energy.
Yes.
Should
Big Bucks Entertainment always do great game show panels.
do you want to talk
Nope.
about what he?
Nope.
Huh?
Nope.
Okay.
Let's. Even though he explained what was going on, I don't feel comfortable discussing that on the show.
Okay, that works.
Mm-hmm.
But needless to say, it like we are all stunned by it.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing. Yeah.
But there was just like the rest of the time was just like you said, going out to get dinner with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
That that sold that place you picked out was really nice.
I didn't pick it out. My friend Aaron picked it out.
Well, she did good with it.
Yep.
And well, it was just relaxing in the like back of the room and get to bed at a decent time so I could not spend my entire day on the road.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
But yeah, that's how things went for me.
Okay. I'm actually still looking up the figure that the Ranma one half figure that I bought.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did find the Akane Tendo equivalent by and it's by Luminesta, I believe. Luminesta, yeah. That one, yeah, they have, and it's 3,380 yen, which is, let me convert this real quick. Because I know I paid at least half the price. So, yeah, $22.30. So, I paid $39 for that figure with the tax. So, half price. So, I'm going to see if I can see who has it. Ranma Saotome. And
Can you show everybody what it looks like?
sure. Hold on. All right. This is it right here. Luminasta Ranma Saotome, boy type. And there is a corresponding figure that goes with the Kane, and it's in a pink box instead of a blue box. So,
Do the bases link together?
no, but they just kind of sit next to each other. But if there's something inside it to kind of like lock them together, probably. Now, from what I've seen, the figure came out in August, which is cool. Yeah. And I've seen one site that's like coming soon or release date is such and such, and that's okay, One site is selling it for $23, which after shipping and all of that is what it is. Now that they've kind of figured out a thing with the tariffs, I think I'm going to order those Ranma 1/2 acrylics and just get them, as well as the shampoo glitters and glamours figure as a gift from my significant other, all of that. So anywho, overall, if you are new to conventions, or you just want to go to a convention that's small where basically eventually everybody will know your name, And if you don't want to worry about missing things because you're doing this event or that panel, you're doing this or that, you're still going to have time to do everything. This is what AAC is for. Yes, we traveled 6 hours out of our way to an average city to go to a convention that's very chill, very fun, and the staff is basically great all around. I've never heard any stories of any staffers going after anybody or nothing like that, which I think is great. If you are in the Boston area and you're tired of Anime Boston, go to AAC. Seriously, go there. You're going to have a great time. If you're like within a couple of hours of this convention, definitely go. Now, when it comes to going, for next year, you're going to have to wait. Because the hotel that we're at will cease to exist. They're tearing it down. So hopefully within a few weeks we'll have a new location for AAC, and hopefully the dates are about the same. Because I'm hoping we don't have to be like, oh, we can't do the con because we're doing Japan next year type situation. I mean, not for nothing, I did skip AAC 1 year to go to a friend's wedding, and I said I would be back next year. And in the following year, it was the same weekend as Anime NYC, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep my promise to them, so I'm going there. So that's what I did. So if you want to go to a con where the panels are fun, the game shows are great, and there is a nice 21 plus after hours event where the hotel sells drinks, and you want to see some great cosplays, have great camaraderie with the game room, and you don't have to go too far for food, and just have a good time, AAC is definitely the place for that. What are your final thoughts on this con, Ari? Can't hear you. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I had this thing muted for a second.
Yeah, no problem.
I like the con, obviously. Upset that they're not going to be at that, venue anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, especially since I didn't get to go in the pool again, they decided that, it was going to be closed for repairs.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, hopefully it maintains that same charm and that magic when, it moves to its newest, to its new location.
I completely agree.
Hopefully, maybe it'll be closer to us. Who knows?
Well, sorry, hearing it might be going back to New Hampshire, to Manchester, and oddly enough, the drive up there is about the same amount of time it takes to go for where we were going before.
Mm-hmm.
So that is our our AAC 2025 convention and review. And 2-3 weeks, we will be covering our final con of the year, which is ZerpyCon. And please stick around for that. And given the time, did you want to go ahead and do the articles for Meanwhile in Japan, or you want to just call it a night?
Yeah, we could do the Meanwhile in Japan stuff.
Oh,
I haven't, I haven't seen a good ones in a while.
All right, so go ahead and pick one.
As soon as it'll load.
No problem.
Here we go. I think I'll take the first one.
All right, let me take another look here. Yeah, I will definitely. I'll take the last one.
Okay. Human washing machine pods coming to Japanese hotels. Okay, so designed by Osaka-based bathroom fixture company Science, this pod is called Mirai Ningen Sentaki, which translates into future human washing machine. Or human washer in the future. I think futuristic human washing machine would be the best way to describe it, but whatever. You start by stepping inside, stretching out in a reclining position, and close a canopy. Relaxing images play on the screen in front of you, so, like sea life, sunsets, soothing music plays, and pods fill with soaping water, turning it into a bath. After a nice leisurely soak, the water drains and nozzle spray you with water to rinse you off, without any scrubbing or extended effort or on your part. Though it was created as a conceptual visual of what bathing could be like in a world of tomorrow, the human washer does exist here in the present with a single unit built by science for display at the Expo 2025 World's Fair in Osaka. Guests can even try it out for themselves. And a survey of those who had tried it back in midsummer showed that 77.6% of users said they were very satisfied, and an additional 21.1% said they were just satisfied. They got strong positive feedback from hotel operators, and so while it has no plans to make it a human washer available for purchase, it's now received orders for 6 units to be installed in hotels and leisure facilities, whatever that means, in Japan. With the latter category likely referring to day spas, bathhouses, or fitness clubs. Oh, okay. It's currently on display at Expo 2025 and will be transferred to Science's showroom in Shinosaka Central Tower Building late November, following the conclusion of Expo 2025. And visitors to the showroom will also be able to try it out. As for sales to private individuals, high costs are probably going to make those unlikely, at least in the very near future. Aside from the machinery's precision parts, its size and shapes makes installation a costly venture in existing homes, with science saying it would be comparable to the price of an imported luxury car. Well, shit.
I ain't surprised.
I knew it was going to be expensive, but good God. Yeah, that is a little bit expensive, huh? Pop culture.
If I had thought about it, I would have changed. When we went to Japan, I would have put an extra day in Osaka just to go to the expo. Oh well. And as I'm looking at this, I'm like, wouldn't it be cheaper to just mod an existing like shower bathtub setup? Like, you just close the door all the way,
like a walk-in bathtub.
yeah, and you lock it, and you bring down another door to like seal it so that the water doesn't go in and out, and you hit a button.
Well, but I had a thought of getting one of those for my own place because they're nice and clean and whatnot, but it would only come up to about here on you, the door, because you'd just be sitting there. I mean, there'd probably be like a separate hose for a shower head, or you put your own curtain in or whatever.
I mean, you do have like
for the whole remodel, they wanted like $30,000 to $40,000, and I'm like, I can't really commit to that right now.
I mean, but you do have like sit down. You do have like bath stools. Like, you go in with a bath stool and you sit down. You hit the button. Like, nozzles come out to get you wet they hit you with water to get you wet, and then you get soapy water to blast you, and sort of like a mini car wash of sorts, That would be kind of interesting. And then you rinse down, you step out, you go over to a heat section to dry off, and call it, But also the way that the washer of the future is set up, it reminds me of like a couple of the bathrooms in the hotels in Japan, where you walk in and you close it, and the whole section is basically a shower. Like, yes, you have the tub on one side, but the rest of the bathroom is the actual shower. And when you step in, you actually step down. So that way the water goes to this one section where you open the lid, it all goes down there. So you can just shower right there. And
that just sounds like a walk-in bathtub with extra steps.
Probably. I think I'll have to send you a couple of photos from the one in Nagoya. I think the hotel in Nagoya and the Godzilla hotel was the same way. And yes, pod culture, it does give a whole new meaning to body wash.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll admit that was kind of funny.
Yeah, it kind of was. Now we're going to get into our last story about the JR Hokkaido train driver who got in trouble for reading a book about trains on a stopped train. I shit you not. The punctuality of trains in Japan is famous all over the world, but that level of efficiency doesn't just happen by chance. It's the result of a lot of hard work under very strict conditions that some would consider unbearable. Case in point is a matter of a train driver for JR Hokkaido for not devoting himself to his work, as the railway would put it. At about 5 p.m. on October 7th, a train was stopped at Otaru Station when a passenger spotted the driver reading a book and reported it to the company. Wow. This was a local train, meaning that the train stops at all stations along the line, as opposed to an express train which only stops at major stations. Because of this system, sometimes local trains will stop for extended periods of time at lesser used stations while express trains get the right of way to zoom through. In this case, the train was scheduled to wait at Otaru Station for 8 minutes before setting off again, so the driver decided to kill some time with a book. Not only that, but the book he brought was a read about railways. The driver admitted that he had done so before in the past too, and he takes an opportunity to relax a moment when he has the time. No incidents or delays occurred as a result, but JR Hokkaido apologized for the concern it caused among passengers. Netizens were largely defending the driver in the comments and condemning the person who tipped off JR Hokkaido about the reading. However, there were a few who felt that the driver did what was inappropriate for a workplace. Comments such as, "Let him do what he wants when the train is stopped. Why would someone rat on him? There's no safety issue, so let him read a book. What's wrong with a train driver reading about trains in his spare time? You're not supposed to read at work. Does everyone think reading at work is a joke? Do you read books at work?" It's probably safe to say a lot of people read books during their downtime while on the job. It seems better that he was engaged in something during that time as well, rather than just staring at his console to make sure it doesn't fly away. That being said,
Now, if the train was in motion going like hundreds of miles an hour, yeah, it'd be a different story.
if the train is going hundreds of miles an hour, you'll be on a brace for impact. Or you're on a Shinkansen where they do not fuck around. So, that being said, in addition to the foibles of certain drivers, JR Hokkaido was hit with an enhanced safety inspection system audit by the National Transport Ministry and Hokkaido Transport Bureau earlier this year. This is a polite way of saying the leash has been tightened on the railway after a string of problems regarding insufficient track maintenance and safety measures were found. Knowing that, it should be no surprise that they aren't taking even the slightest inconsistencies lightly. Makes sense to me. And CWBRE says, "I hope the book wasn't how to dragging your train."
That.
10 points from Gryffindor. Anyway, it's 5-11.
Damn, time flies when you're having fun, huh?
Yeah, I think it's time for us to call it at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that we got that going, let's go ahead and transform and get up on out of here.
Mm-hmm.
If you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. So what we like and don't like, we're telling you straight up 100%. If you have any questions about the show, please drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast at animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. Now, once you get off and do that, please visit our website at animejamsession.com, where you will find not just our weekly podcast, you will find anime reviews, convention reports, cosplay tips and tricks, cosplay interviews, editorials, a whole lot of cool stuff at animejamsession.com. Let's see what else we have here. Our podcast. And if you like the podcast and this is your first time, please subscribe to our podcast. You can find us on Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or even if you have like a local podcasting app, you can find us there. It's Anime Jam Session. And if you can, leave us a review through the app. We really appreciate all the good words. Follow us on our social media. It's Anime Jam Session on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky. And to everybody that follows us on those, thank you so much. We really appreciate your love and support. Our tip jar. If you're watching live, down below is a direct link to our Stream Elements, Stream Live, and our Ko-Fi. If you want to just throw us straight cash, we really appreciate that. If not, you can just donate, cheer us on with bits, or you can sub to the channel and give out gift subs. Every little bit counts. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Ari.
Well, this was a fun night. Glad to be back with you.
It's really warm in my place for October. And yet I have the air conditioner still in the window and the side vents are open and I'm not getting a decent air. It's kind of odd. I have this odd feeling the air conditioner's going to be stuck in the window all year round. We'll see how it goes. Well, anywho, that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Mako-chan will be here, and I hope you'll be here too. So we're going to get up and go on going. So, I'm Ranma.
And I'm Ari.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all. We're going to get up and out of here. By the way, say good night, Ari. I did not hear what you said.
Oh, what the? Now it decides not to. Good night, Ari.
Oh, 7 out of 10. We can roll with that. Anywho, we're getting out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!